What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hooked on Mortgages. My name's Rene Vila. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined with.
Matt Barkett, another host and loan officer here at Realtor.
Today we have a special guest. Cade, why don't you introduce yourself?
How's everybody doing? Thank you for having me. My name's Kade Phillips. I represent Remax Legacy. We are out of Middleborough, Massachusetts. I've been an agent for going on 8 years, and I became an owner last year.
Congratulations.
My first franchise. So
Excellent. So, Cade, I gotta address something while we got you on. Being that you're up there in that northeast area, what in the world is going on with those drones up there? We don't have any flying around down here, but do you have any insights? I feel like they're lying to us down here.
man, they're popping up everywhere. I have yet to see them myself, but I have been seeing people posting on Facebook. They're all over Middleborough, Plymouth, all over the South Shore area where we are, and obviously all over New Jersey. I don't know what those things are, but hoping I don't see them in my backyard. So
Do you have any theories? Because every now and then I like to go on Twitter, which is a black hole. But
oh yeah,
I've come up with my own conclusions. Do you have any of your own, or?
it's so hard to say because, like you just said, you can really dive down the rabbit holes on social media where you start getting into
Yeah.
ideas and conspiracies, what these things could be. I don't know, but I do have a feeling that the government knows what they are because they're not really addressing them the way they should. If they were something foreign or something that was of concern, I feel like the response would be different. So
Yeah, they probably would have knocked them down out of the air by now.
yeah, it probably would have done something to take some precautionary measures here. But these things are flying around like they own the place, so it makes me think that there are drones anyway.
At least if I would be up there, I'd probably have to have the same outlook, so I'm not concerned. They're just flying. They're just doing their thing. There's nothing to be concerned about.
What are you gonna do? You start shooting those things down. Now you got some trouble with your doors.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We did a little digging on your own. You've been practicing real estate for 6, 7 years.
Yeah. About 7 years going on 8. Yeah.
Awesome. And then have you always been with Remax, or what like brought you into wanting to be with Remax?
So good question. So no, we were a small brokerage before. So this business, we're a family business. I'm partners with my sister and my mother. My mother's been a broker for almost 30 years. My sister's been in the business about the same time as me, about 7 years. We had a small, mom and pop brokerage for a while, a few years, and the market it took a big turn after COVID. It's tough. Yeah, so COVID, obviously the market was booming everywhere, and then after that, just got back to a more normal market. And my big thing was always I wanted to keep up with the competition, and being a mom and pop brokerage, it can be tough to do that, to stand out. You guys know how this industry is. I mean, I say it all the time. We're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Everybody either knows somebody, has a friend who does this, or they do it themselves, right? Because they think it's easy.
Right.
Um, you know how that goes. Everybody
Yeah.
thinks they can do this job blindfolded.
Everyone's typically like, my mom, dad, or family member wants to do something. Let me get my license, and then that's it. I'm a realtor, or I'm a mortgage broker now.
Yeah, right.
They're ready for Shark Tank.
It's not even close to like how that is, but trying to keep up with the industry. We were approached by Keller Williams. They made us an offer to join them and kind of relinquish our brokerage, and I didn't really like the idea of that. So we started kind of poking and putting the feelers out there, and we met with a recruiter for Remax, and it was just such a genuine conversation. He wasn't trying to sell me on anything. There was no Kool-Aid to drink. It was just good people, and we decided to go that route. We bought a Remax franchise, and honestly, it's been the best decision business-wise I think we've ever made. We had the best year of basically our career last year. We're still wrapping it up 24, but very excited for 25. And yeah, I don't see us going in a different direction anytime soon. I'm very happy with Remax and them coming through on everything they said they would. So
You mentioned the market. How's the market up there? I mean, the market for us, really, with the higher rates that we've seen since probably mid 2022. in the South Florida area, we haven't really missed a beat. Inventory's still very limited down here. You know, we still have buyers on our side that come in to get qualified, and it's like they just can't find a house.
So this year has been insane. Obviously, everywhere, spring, summer's on fire, right? This is the busiest fourth quarter I've ever seen in my career. Houses are going to bidding wars over here. Rates came down a little bit. You know, they're in like the mid sixes,
Yeah.
which is still, you know, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible.
Right.
Um, but you know, the market's on fire. We're putting properties on, and it's going, you know, 65, 70,000 over asking in
Oh,
48
wow.
hours.
Wow.
And these are houses that, you know, you could move into, but like an FHA buyer is not going to qualify for them. You got to go conventional or cash. You know, they need few big ticket items, and these are houses that are, I mean, 40 plus showings in the first 24 hours.
That's
It's
crazy.
pretty crazy.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't seen that since
yeah,
COVID down
for
here.
us, that was COVID time for us. I mean, it's definitely picking up a little bit. I mean, there's bidding wars to a degree,
Yeah.
but I mean, definitely not where. Well, I mean, I heard. I mean, it was during our COVID time. There were listing agents that we'd make the call to introduce ourselves, and they're like, "Look, man, like unless you've got a buyer, we're calling for cash or at least 70 to 100 over. I wouldn't even waste your time."
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough for people right now, you know. Again, it depends the property, right? Like investors are always flooding the market. Most of my clients a lot of my clients, I should say, on the buy side are investors looking for, you know, they're coming in hard money or they're coming cash. Those properties are always a challenge. There's so much competition and there's such little available, especially on market. You know, unless you can strike some direct seller leads. But for the average, you know, first time home buyer, it is very competitive. You know, they need to be approved, ready to go, and like offer ready when they leave that open house or that showing. Because if they're not, somebody else will be.
If someone's gonna swoop in and beat them to it. Do you guys work more with? Do you guys do more listings, or you do more buy side, or you guys kind of just mixed in the middle?
So me myself, I'm very heavy with listings. I've always had the mentality in this business that I want the contract, right? Um, no offense, buyers are great, but you know how some of them can be.
Yeah, there's a saying for that.
Showing them 30 properties
Yeah,
and
buyers are
12
buyers.
offers, and
Yeah.
you know, but I like to focus on listings more. My sister, who's my partner, Chelsea, her name's Chelsea. She does a lot more buyer deals than I do. So she's a lot more creative when it comes to putting those offers in. Um, but yeah, I like to focus on listings. I like to have the contract. I feel like once I get that locked up, you know, it's a matter of proper
See,
marketing at that point.
one of my theories about the drones is because I did some snooping around his pages. I think the drones are his because he's got a lot of drone videos on his page. So
So,
Yeah, I do have a lot of drone footage.
so just out of curiosity, obviously you've been in the business for a decent amount of time. Obviously you have your fair share of listings. What's your kind of your go-to? I mean, obviously don't give us all your secrets, but when it comes to some of the success up in Massachusetts where you're at, I guess what's kind of the not the secret sauce, but what have you seen that's worked in regards to getting some of these listings on your end?
Um, Number one, above all else, do good business, right?
Yeah, no,
Because
of course.
word of mouth is the most important type of marketing there is. If you do good business, people will know. And invest in your listings. I tell other agents, like our agents that work for us, don't be shy to put money up. It's a part of the game. You're not going to sell them all, but the ones that do sell, and that client has peace of mind knowing that you're investing in their property to get this thing sold, that's just more of a resume. That's a resume builder for the next one. Because then after I sell this house and I go to the next homeowner, I have a portfolio and I can show you, hey, here's examples of what I'm going to do for your property. Here's the results, you know, and it works. You know, having a good photographer is really helpful for sure.
do you feel like you guys? I mean, I see. We dove into the numbers and I saw your post. Like you're up there in the Remax rankings, which is great. Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Do you like what do you think? Like, do you think other agents are just as busy, or you guys are just hammering the ground, outworking everyone? Is everyone as busy up there?
Um, definitely not everybody's as busy. Um, I think it really just comes down to you. You know, this can be the most fruitful tree you'll ever water in your life. But you have to be willing to water it on days you don't want it. You know
Right.
what I mean? This is something that it's 7 days a week, at least for myself. It's hard to speak for other people, but I really try to pride myself on always being available, and that really is true. I answer calls at 1 in the morning. I put offers at any time of the day. You can call me any time of the day. I got small kids at the house. I'm gonna roll over in bed, grab that phone, and run downstairs and do what you need done. You know, it's that simple. You know,
How big's the family?
it's big. So I have 5 children, um, and a puppy now. So we got a full house.
Now you just got me in trouble because they're trying to get the fourth out of me next year. And let me tell you, I'm scared to death.
Happy life, man.
Yeah, there's another way for that saying, but we'll leave it out of this podcast.
I love it. It's controlled chaos. That's what we call it in my house. Controlled chaos. You know, we're outnumbered by the kids, but you know, a lot of memories, a lot of laughs, and luckily I get to go to work each day, and my
Take a
lady
break.
stays home, so that helps for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if she's in the business as well, because I have the pleasure of doing business with my wife. We've broken up our way of doing things. She's more so on the processing end. We deal more front facing and putting the applications together. So we've kind of distanced ourselves, so we're not trying to choke each other out at the office as well. So that's good that you guys got that space.
Yeah, so she's not formally in the business. She helps me market. She'll push my ads too and share my posts. And she's always the first person to try to recruit an agent she runs into a nose or get me business. But right now, she's at home with the kids. And eventually, once the kids go to school and she got more time, she'll definitely get a license and get involved more.
So, Kate, good question. I mean, I know you just talked about sharing posts and things like that. Obviously, we're doing the podcast, big content creation. How much do you do when it comes to social media? And I guess what do you kind of see coming up in the future for social media? I mean, obviously, it's huge on everybody's end, but do you utilize it a lot with your business or just starting to get into it?
Oh yeah, for me, that's been like the number one catalyst for I think why I ended up getting as busy as I did. And it's all organic. I do it all myself. I do all the social media marketing for my company as well as all our agents. Um, for me, I have a pretty good system down. Property goes on, you know, offer accepted or any status change throughout a deal from start to finish. I'm running ads and I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. And I'm using Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, you know, and YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I upload all my virtual tours. Yeah, I'm huge on social media. I think it's super important. You know, it's free marketing. Why wouldn't you utilize it the best way you can? And I think it's only going to continue to get bigger. I mean, think about the reach with social media. It's made this world feel so much smaller, right? Like you're in Florida, I'm in Massachusetts. We connected on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So social media is such a powerful tool in general. You know, especially for what we do, people to people sales. I mean, you can get in touch with anybody instantly.
Well, I
So
mean,
I'm a
oh,
big proponent.
well, no, I mean, I was gonna say is because I think one of the things that I see with it is obviously you generate leads from it. It's a huge tool just to show what you do with your business. Obviously, I feel like when buying a house, people like the experience. Obviously, you obviously want it to be smooth, but they also want to be treated like it's an experience. The other aspect of it is feel like it gives validation to your ability. You know, a lot. I mean, I'm sure. I know all of us are guilty of it, but you know, you're going out to dinner, you're looking for a restaurant. I'm sure you just like me, the inner fat boy that I am. I Google look at the menu at whatever restaurant I'm going to, especially if I've never been. Kind of the same thing. It's obviously a bigger purchase, but I feel like obviously lead generation, but just giving validity to your business and just showing what you're able to do is makes people, at least this day and age, more comfortable.
Well, I think it's a comfortability thing too. They look you up on social media. You pointed out, hey, you're looking at the menu. I'm interested in the menu too, but I want to see the reviews.
Yeah, no, it's same. Of course, that's part of it.
I don't, and this day and age, I don't think more so it's you're getting validation from the reviews, but you might just get it in the content that they are seeing out there, or it's like, well, you go to somebody's Instagram or you go to someone's TikTok or Facebook, and they have nothing on there. They haven't posted in months or years, and you're like, well, what has this person really been doing? It may not be about the reviews anymore.
100% agreed. Yeah, you have to have a social media presence. But as you guys know, it's a whole nother job too, right?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
gotta
it
be
is.
consistent, and you're there every day, and you're having that presence. Because, like you said, you go to a restaurant, you're googling it first. You're looking up what they got. Same thing with business. People are looking into you, especially if you're cold calling, right? Like I do a lot of cold calling. I'm certain that if they're interested whatsoever, if we make an appointment or if we don't, you know, they're going to look up my pages and see, is this guy really who he says he is? And that's important, to have every step of the way documented and posted. And sometimes it's a little bit in your face, but I think it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a big saying down here that a lot of people like to do: you fake it till you make it. But with data so much at your fingertips now, we're guilty of it, and we laugh about it sometimes. Like some people, they have a lot of stuff out there, but they don't have much going on. But
Yeah.
they're able to drive business from it because people are seeing it and they believe it.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors. I preach that in my meetings, my office meetings all the time. You're new in this business, smoke and mirrors is your best friend. You can make content on anything. I tell go on a showing, go to someone else's open house and record yourself walking in the door.
Yeah.
Right? From the outside audience looking in, they don't know if you're heading into a listing appointment, whatever the case is. Content is content, and just
Yeah.
more of it the better.
Do you guys use any AI in your content? We'll share with you some of the stuff we've been using. I'll share you with some links with you via email and with the videos and everything. But we've been doing a lot of AI stuff where essentially we're going to take this full podcast and AI is going to chop it for us. It's going to grade our hooks, trends, viral. Are you using anything like that?
I haven't done that myself, but I have associates that are investors that use AI as well to chop things for them. It's so interesting. It's crazy. Really, it's crazy. But it's smart. AI is plugged into the algorithm. So what better way to do it?
Yeah, this one site, Opus Clip, is one of the very popular ones that we use. You can essentially upload anything as long as it's over a minute long. It'll put the captions on the video for you. It'll give you your actual caption for social media. You can post straight from the website. It'll draw up the hashtags for you. It'll draw up what the actual caption is going to say below it. It's incredible what technology's done, and it helps you save time at the end of the day.
Helps you save time. The one AI tool that I use pretty regularly is ChatGPT. I use
Oh,
that
yeah.
for my
Oh yeah.
things.
Oh yeah, for caption and audio.
Given, right?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
everybody's doing that
Caption
now.
for Facebook for da 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 da.
Yeah.
Copy and paste. But I wanted to ask, just kind of going a little bit off topic. We were talking about restaurants, obviously, and looking stuff up. You being in Massachusetts, give us a little dive into I guess what Massachusetts, the main things you go out to, or at least some of your favorite Massachusetts cuisines up there.
So I got to be honest with you. With all the kids, I cook a lot now. I
Oh.
cook at home now. But if you are gonna go out, I like local spots. There's a spot in Taunton. I live in Taunton. There's a spot, Brack's Tavern. Phenomenal place. It's not gonna kill your wallet. Good service. They got a good drink menu, good food menu. I like Brack's. If you're looking for a banging steak place, go to Roots Chris in Boston.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. We've got some Ruth Chris on here.
Yeah, yeah, fire. I make steak at home, though. I'll be honest. I cook at home. I got a Blackstone griddle cooktop, and I'm on that baby 5 nights a week, slicing ribeyes.
Oh, I got the ribeye. I actually got a tomahawk for tonight. That's getting thrown on the grill with a bottle of tequila. So
Nice, nice tequila guy. I like bourbon.
I won't know what we're eating dinner because me and my wife are here, and we'll look at each other at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like, hey, what are we gonna make for dinner? We'll go home, still not know what we're gonna make for dinner. and this guy's texting me like a perfectly cooked steak on a cutting board. It's, I
There's
guess,
nothing like it though.
Oh, it's the
I
best.
actually just butchered a tomahawk. I got way over my head on the tomahawk, ruined it. Unfortunately,
Oh.
I gotta take that on again. What's your secret for a good tomahawk?
Honestly, man, I do like the reverse sear.
Yeah,
I mean, because when you put it on the grill, it gets really, really hot, and that thing's really, really thick. So
yeah,
honestly, you get the reverse sear. You get it at about 135. I don't know how you like your steak. I'm a medium rare kind of guy on a ribeye.
yeah.
125, 130, and then throw it on. I mean, I try to get it as hot as possible. I have the green egg, so I get that thing 600, 700 degrees cranking. Let it sit for a minute. Let it cook, and then take it off. Put a little either butter or beef tallow on it. Let it sit. Cut it and enjoy.
I gotta come to Florida and have one of those.
I mean, yeah, the weather. Hey, what you can't beat the weather either.
you gotta come down. I don't know if you enjoy fishing. We'll get on the boat, go fishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do any hunting up that way?
I don't. I did growing up. My dad's a big hunter. We go up to Maine all the time, so there is a lot of hunting out here. I haven't gone as an adult though, but it's on my list to do. I gotta
It's
get
so fun. I started doing it last year and I'm hooked. I mean, I grew up fishing on the water, being when we're here in Miami my whole life, and I'm ready to just give that fishing life away and just hunt.
on. Yeah, it's a
It's
good time. Going out with the fellas and tapping into that lot.
yeah.
So, Kate, out of curiosity, just with a lot of your listings and things like that, for the people that are selling properties, do you see them as just relocating? They're trying to upgrade, downgrade, leave Massachusetts. What's kind of, I guess, the mixture when it comes to your listings as to what their goals are?
I think it's more so. It's so individualized. Each person's story is different. Every house has a story. I mean, you see everything from the parents whose kids have all flown the nest and they want to downsize to, the people who are buying their first home and or selling their first home and upgrading. It's a really great mixture of everything. Every scenario is different. I mean, sometimes we do probate sales. Um, I do a lot of fix and flip. So one of my regular clients, they buy distressed, renovate everything, and I represent their properties on that end. And then the buyers are, anybody from first time buyers to again downsizers, upgraders. It's a good mix of all, really.
If you had to give some pointers, because I have a team of what is it, 12 of us now.
Something like that.
Nice.
If you had a team, like if you had pointers for an LO, like I'm sure you get bothered by LOs all the time. Like, I guess can you share like one of your pet peeves from an LO that tries to like your most common thing that bothers you when an LO tries to solicit you, and like what would stand out to you if like an LO reached out and said like gave you some sort of value, like what would wow you?
That's a good question. Obviously, referrals are fantastic, right? But they're hard to come by. I understand referrals don't just pop out of thin air. My biggest thing when working with an LO is just responsiveness, phone calls, communication, and when I do a transaction, I'm ahead of the game. I like to stay ahead. I have everything. I like to have everything done, and then 5 to 7 days before closing, you're just hanging out, waiting to collect your check. Right? Everything's done. Attorney's got everything. Um, I just like that type of work ethic where they're on the ball. They're not waiting. And if the client needs some push and motivation, they're checking in. And so really, I would say probably communication, responsiveness, and communication availability. Those are important to me.
And if like a blonde, like let's say an LO that you've never met, like what would be the best way for them to approach an agent like you? Because let's be honest, like your numbers are impressive, so someone may be scared to kind of approach you. They might not know how to approach you. Like what would be the best? Like what would wow you for like a brand new LO to get your attention?
Um, I just had a guy reach out. Never spoke to him before. He called me and he's like, "Hey, I got a pre-approved buyer." He broke the introduction with giving me a client, and we put that client under contract in like 4 days. So that stands out to me. Now I owe him one. Right now I'm on the hook. I owe this guy
Yeah.
one. So that's always a great way. But again, I'm the type of guy. I'm always open for coffee. If somebody takes the time to pick the phone up and call me, I'm gonna put you on my schedule. Let's get a cup of coffee. Let's talk. Let's meet. I like doing good business, and I'm open to doing good business with other good people.
Yeah, you
So
never know. I mean, sometimes you'll have a couple lenders in your pocket, and one guy
yeah,
may be a better suit for a particular client. They may
yeah,
be stronger in a different product.
definitely.
I don't think it's always a bad thing. I see it, maybe some people just they like to work with one person, and having
Yeah.
options isn't bad either.
Yeah, I have a guy. Actually, he's out of my office. His name's AJ Trot. He's usually my go-to. So when a new buyer comes to me and say, "Hey, I'm looking to get pre-approved," I'll shoot him to AJ. But it is good, and I do agree with having multiple relationships because sometimes this person's going to get it done in a way that maybe that he couldn't, or maybe they're a better fit too, right? Like the client, clients don't always mesh with everybody. There's an ask for every seat, and maybe their personality type goes better over here. They're going to have a more pleasurable experience over here than over there. So I like multiple options. And again, I'm just open to doing business with good people.
Definitely.
So
And having those options is great, like you said, because if that client doesn't mesh well, let's say with Matt, or it doesn't mesh well with me, you can still keep it within your wheelhouse, and you know how everyone works and how everyone communicates.
right, I think that's important too. Just having a good network, having
Yeah.
a good network. You know,
Well, we appreciate it. Like I said, we didn't want to take up too much of your time. We'll certainly keep in contact. We'll be sharing all the content with you. Do you have anything you want to leave off with, or Matt?
No, man, it was great meeting with you. I wish you the best of luck. Hope you come down, throw some steaks on the grill at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Florida's on my map too. We're gonna get our license out there, so
Okay, nice.
sooner than
Come,
later we'll be out there.
come
But
on down. Just be ready to be thrilled and surprised every day of the business down here, because it's a clown show to say the least.
I'm ready for it. I appreciate you guys having me on. Um, Appreciate your time. Let's definitely stay in touch.
Definitely. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate it. Hopefully you could get down to the bottom of the drone thing, but I think that I may have figured it out. It's Cade flying his drones over his listings.
I'll keep you posted if I get something on.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
Have
Have a
a
good one.
good one.